Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the portfolio that we have started a couple of weeks back in January. So we started with $1,000. We've been adding in $400 every other week. And of course, last week we already put money. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to buy this dip. But let's talk about our portfolio and where we're currently at. So at this moment, we're at around 4,500. And again, there's a bit of a delay between me recording and when this goes up because obviously crypto is very volatile. But we see some of our biggest holdings being ADA at around 1,800. Then we have Polkadot at around 800. And then we have HBAR, and it goes into a different collection of altcoins. So you might notice if you're new to this portfolio that we have a very small amount of Bitcoin and we also have a very small amount of Ethereum. That's just because we're hedging on the best ROI. So we're not investing too much into projects that have already pumped. Considering we're starting with a lower amount, we're taking on a little bit more risk to do this way. So that being said, let's get into it. So some of our lower holdings, just so you guys can see, is XLM, Bitcoin, BNB, Binance Token, which we should buy more of. Then we have Cell Token, then one of my personal favorites, XRP, and then Zilliqa and Link. You could argue that maybe we should have a little bit more Link here, but I'd probably say that we're going to get better ROIs out of Cardano and Polkadot, but we still want some exposure, which is why we have some Link. But I just didn't want to buy Link on this recent dip. I would have rather put my money where I did. Keep in mind too, there's a lot of projects that are going to be pumping, so look out for those too, and not only what I'm looking for here. Just consider my methodology in choosing which alts to put in. Usually I'm waiting for things that aren't pumped. Right now what I'm looking at, some big tokens that haven't pumped that much, is probably Zilliqa, probably VeChain. So definitely don't be chasing green candles. You want to be investing in projects that haven't pumped yet. So let's talk about some of our market movers today. We have HBAR just going meteoric. We have a 27% gain on our HBAR holding, which is crazy. I came out of nowhere. So, that is cool to see. Then we have XRP at a 6% increase for today, VeChain at a 4%, and KSM at a 1.3%. So you will notice that everything is trading pretty level today. Yesterday it was a little bit down, but also we've been rebounding from that big crash, right? Legacy markets have also been struggling in the same way. So everything's still just a little timid. But what's about to happen? So we've taken a look at our portfolio. We've talked about our portfolio and what we would probably put money in if we didn't have any right now. And it's probably going to be VeChain, KSM, and then anything that hasn't pumped or is really down. Now I wanted to take a quick look at the Bitcoin chart just to see where we are for the day, because obviously what Bitcoin does, especially during this critical moment, really impacts how alts are going to move in the next couple hours to couple days. And we see Bitcoin has more or less been trading level. It has been on a little bit of a decline, but we can see that it's been trying to fight past that 50K mark. And obviously there's been a little bit of resistance at 50K. We know that there's a lot of selling pressure. 50K is a psychological number too. You got to think when you see a big number like 50,000, then it's hard to get through that we could break it, right? So you'll see any big number having some sort of resistance. And the big reason is because the market is based on humans, emotions. We're flawed human beings and we create shit like this. So obviously you can't always just trust TA or the news or anything else. Sometimes psychology does come into play when you're looking at markets. So you can't always play it on that. So of course there's going to be selling pressure, and of course there's going to be the psychological pressure of that 50K. Are we going to break it? Most definitely. Will we break it soon, as in today? I don't know. It could go either way at this point. I am hoping for a leg up. I've been buying into a long, so we'll see if Bitcoin does go up, and we'll take it from there. And just to keep in mind, in terms of trading and longing and everything like that, we've talked about that before, that I do plan on making a series for that. I'll never give actual advice on whether or not to go long, but I will say this, at least to give some advice. If you are going to leverage trade and you are going to go long, I'd probably just trade Bitcoin. At least to start. I know a lot of people like to trade Ethereum and everything else. I have a long in Cardano that I've had for a little bit, but at the same time, Bitcoin is often the easiest to trade and it's what I feel most comfortable trading. So if you are leverage trading, I would stick it to Bitcoin and then just swing trade with alts. But that's just me. That's not advice. And if you're not leverage trading, don't just get into it for shits and giggles. You need to actually come in with a plan and be able to take profits and not be emotional. Often when I've lost money in leverage trading, it's usually because of my emotions. So just keep that in mind. Keep a level head. Now, I did want to top the video up with this news headline, and my XRP bulls that have been following me since my XRP beginnings, obviously you guys will appreciate the fact that we have Gary Gensler finally becoming the head of the SEC, and him in the process of being confirmed had mentioned a couple of things that may have ruffled a couple of feathers, and I totally understand why. Now, he did say he's looking to root out fraud out of crypto, and we know there's a number of VCs and a bunch of other investors that have actually declined to buy Ethereum because they thought it was an investment contract. So this could be what Gary is saying, and he could be going after other cryptocurrencies. Now, we've warned against this, and we've seen that this could happen, and the US loves to pick favorites. So we could see a situation where XRP gets its green light after a settlement, and then other cryptocurrencies follow in the exact same pathway that XRP did, being sued by the SEC. Very possible. It's very fuddish for the community. I don't like to see it. I think any sort of regulation on cryptocurrency that doesn't foster the value coming into the systems is inherently damning, not just to the system, but to the United States itself. As a Canadian, it doesn't impact me that much, but I know a lot of my American viewers have a lot of trouble buying certain cryptos from certain exchanges and other things that often happen. And I'm always asked by Americans how to buy certain cryptos. And these types of regulations are not going to be good. Prohibition and regulations never helped anyone. So I'm going to take the side of less government is more in this situation. Otherwise, the United States is going to find themselves in a situation where they're no longer the financial hub of the world, which is becoming way more prevalent, and you can actually see it happening today. So it's so believable. At this point, we're now probably looking at fintech hubs like Singapore. China has adopted a lot of blockchain technology, although I don't think that they would be a financial hub. But we'll most likely see some sort of country in Asia or another area like the Cayman Islands being the new financial hub. I highly doubt if the US stays on this path and has people in the SEC and other outfits that are super pro-regulation on most cryptocurrencies, they're not going to be able to last the test of time in terms of the financial market. And I know a lot of my US viewers probably have the exact same sentiment, and I know you guys don't want regulations as much as the world doesn't want to see you put regulations on. Hopefully that doesn't happen though, and I'm really hoping that this is just FUD, so please take this article and this whole thing with a grain of salt, because obviously you shouldn't be basing your decisions off of a very, very speculative outcome that might not even happen. We don't know exactly what Gary is trying to say here, and we don't know also what he's trying to do in terms of politics, what he's trying to play up, because often in these confirmation hearings, everyone's not totally truthful. I understand that they're sworn in, but realistically, how many people are 100% honest at these hearings? So it could be that he's just appeasing certain people so he can get confirmed. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to be speculating at this point. It is just something to be aware of. In terms of XRP, because it's been a long time since we've actually talked about XRP in a dedicated XRP video. And I understand it's not everyone's favorite coin. I totally get that. But the fact of the matter is XRP has been systematically suppressed for months now as everything else has popped up. And if you're looking at yourself and you have a lot of money in other alts and everything else, and everything's really pumped, and you're looking for something that hasn't pumped yet, and you're looking to take a more calculated risk, XRP might be your bet. Because realistically, it's like holding a beach ball underwater for an excessive amount of time. You can only do it for so long until finally that air has to go to the surface. And I think that's what we're seeing happen here. And I think as soon as the case is concluded, we're going to see that surface. And then at that point, I don't know where it'll stop. Because we know the previous all-time high was around $3.50. So we know that is definitely possible by the end of this bull run. But realistically, what past that is possible? Once we have this case concluded, and now that we have the news from Ripple doing a private blockchain for international banks that will eventually use XRP as an arbitrage, where is the ceiling? Where is the limit? Like I said, I know XRP isn't everyone's favorite token. I've done a lot of research on XRP though, and I'm a definite XRP bull. You can say what you want about the charts, and you can say what you want about the Ripple. There's no denying the fact that there is utility. It's one of the quickest cryptocurrencies, and it's one of the cheapest. So I think that alone will mean it'll survive. I hope this video was helpful to get you through the week and to understand exactly what to buy or what to look out for. But keep in mind, I'm trying to make it so anyone could follow along with this series and just adjust the numbers based on their income. A lot of people don't get paid every day or every week, so we do this bi-weekly. And this is just to simulate so that it doesn't matter about market timing or catching certain dips. It matters about just being in the market. And ultimately, that's what you need to look out for. You're not always going to catch every dip, and you're not always going to ride every green candle. It's coming to terms with that and then understanding that the time in the market beats timing the market, that you start to learn how to be successful in cryptocurrency. And also an important aspect is taking profits. So if you haven't watched my cash out video, definitely go check that out, because I think I detail exactly what you should be doing in terms of taking profits, cashing out into gold, filling up your investment vehicles and everything else. But that's it for me. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy hodling.